Imagine an organization, maybe a project you're working on, or even a personal goal that, well, on paper, it looks incredibly successful.
Yeah, the numbers are up. Things seem to be running smoothly.
Exactly. But beneath that polished surface, maybe you feel the energy draining. Key people are burning out.
Mm,
And that initial spark, that bold vision that got everyone excited, it just feels diluted.
yeah,
Does that sound familiar to you?
I think it does to a lot of us.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into what it really takes to sustain momentum and genuine health. We're drawing from a stack of insightful sources.
And while these sources focus primarily on the church context,
Right.
our mission here is to pull out those vital universal principles,
Mm.
the things that keep any community or endeavor not just surviving, but really thriving dynamically,
Yeah.
generation after generation.
We'll be exploring a truth, I think, that's often overlooked. That growth without renewal, it's fragile.
It really is.
And you might be thinking, okay, church health, what does that have to do with my startup or my team or my personal goals?
It's a fair question.
Well, you might be surprised. A lot of these principles about vision, leadership, resources, community, they're profoundly universal.
Applicable to any group, really,
Right.
or any personal pursuit that's striving for long-term meaningful impact.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is how these sources push us beyond just the superficial metrics, the easy numbers,
They really do. They challenge us to get a deeper understanding of genuine vitality.
asking not just what is happening on the surface.
That's why it truly matters for enduring impact,
Yeah.
for any organization trying to make a lasting difference.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit.
Mm.
When we think about the health of any organization, could be a nonprofit, a tech company, even a hobby group, it's incredibly tempting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. To just rely on the easy numbers.
Yeah, quarterly reports, membership stats, budget surpluses, social media likes.
They're tangible, simple.
But our sources warn us that these, well, they provide a snapshot, sure, but they often mask a deeper reality.
Things can look great on the surface.
While trouble's brewing underneath, quietly eroding the foundations.
So that raises a really important question. If it's not just about the numbers, then what is it about?
Right. What are we looking for?
The sources emphasize that the true vitality lies not in external metrics, but in its spiritual momentum and its capacity to fulfill God's calling across generations.
Okay, let's translate that a bit for a universal audience. Spiritual momentum. That sounds like an organization's intrinsic drive, maybe.
I think that's a good way to put it. Its commitment to its core purpose, its ability to execute that mission effectively over the long haul, impacting future stakeholders.
Yeah.
The sources quote Paul in 1 Corinthians, "Be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain."
So steadfast, immovable.
The core idea, which applies universally, is about sustained, purposeful engagement. Think about the relentless effort needed for a startup or training for a marathon.
Right, the daily grind almost.
Exactly. Every consistent action, even small ones, it compounds. It's about enduring commitment that pays off, even if the immediate results aren't flashy.
That's such a crucial distinction. It's not just showing up, it's the quality and consistency of that engagement. I can relate that to, say, a creative project. You might have intense bursts, but it's the steady, sometimes invisible work that really moves things forward.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Our sources use some powerful analogies to drive this home. They describe the church not as a static institution.
But as a little living organism.
Yeah, like a body animated by the Spirit, or even a star whose vitality is measured by the energy it radiates outward.
Radiating outward, I like that. They point to the early church in Acts chapter 2.
Right, as a prime example.
Yeah.
That enduring vitality didn't just come from showing up for meetings.
No.
It came from holistic spiritual engagement,
Wow.
learning, worship, fellowship, service, not merely attendance.
So if we translate those actions for any group, like a volunteer team, learning could be continuous improvement, right?
Yeah.
Knowledge sharing.
Absolutely. Worship might be celebrating shared values, the mission. Fellowship is building trust, community.
And service is actively contributing, getting things done together.
It was a complete active way of being, fostering genuine connection and purpose.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really encourages critical thinking, doesn't it? About how we measure success in any area of our lives.
Definitely. Are we just chasing the visible, the easily counted?
Or are we cultivating the foundational stuff? the things that really transform. Are we counting heads or fostering a vibrant, engaged community?
That's the question.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So we've established that true health goes way beyond those easy metrics.
hmm
But if we're not just counting attendance or budget numbers, what are we building with? What actually creates this deep, lasting vitality?
Well, our sources highlight three fundamental pillars. Think of them like the main supports for an enduring structure.
Okay, pillar number one.
The first and arguably the most crucial is spiritual nourishment as the core.
Spiritual nurture.
It's described as the root system or the engine of vitality. For a church, that's intimacy with God. For any organization, translate that to a consistent connection to your core values.
Your founding mission, the source of inspiration.
Exactly, your why.
Yeah.
Jesus' words in John 15 are key. I am the vine, you are the branches. Apart from me, you can do nothing.
And that's not just a religious statement, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Think of a creative team that loses touch with its artistic vision, or a company that drifts from why it started solving a specific customer problem.
Right.
Without that consistent connection to the driving purpose, the fruit, the innovation, the impact of success, it eventually withers.
So it's about that deep, clear why fueling the what makes sense.
It's about consistent connection, not just constant activity.
Okay, so if that nourishment, that connection to core purpose is the engine, what guides it? Where does it go?
That brings us naturally to the second pillar,
Mm-hmm.
the critical role of leadership and vision.
Leadership and vision. Leaders are described as keepers of the flame. That's a vivid image.
It is. It's illustrated by Moses' leadership in Exodus, where Israel prevailed as long as his hands were raised.
Right. That wasn't just about him being there.
No, it symbolized sustained effort, clear direction, dependence on a higher purpose. For any organization, leaders are the ones who consistently articulate and embody that core purpose.
Keeping the team focused, inspired, especially when things get tough.
And that flame needs a compass, not just a keeper. The sources cite Proverbs. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Perish. In a non-religious context, that could mean drifting, disengagement, chaos.
Precisely. Vision transforms mere busyness into focused progress. It gives all that energy a clear, compelling direction.
And what's really interesting here, too, is the emphasis on cultivating shared ownership.
Yes, decentralizing leadership. Paul highlighted this with Timothy, equipping others to carry the mission forward.
So it's not just one person holding the torch.
No, it's about many sharing the light, taking responsibility, moving beyond a single heroic leader to a collaborative, empowered team.
That's a powerful shift. From one person carrying the load to a collective effort. Okay, so pillar one, core purpose. Pillar two, leadership and shared vision. What's the third?
The third pillar, and it's often overlooked, is stewardship as an act of faith.
Stewardship. So managing money.
Well, yes, but it's much broader than that. It's about the intentional, responsible use of all God-given resources.
All resources.
Finances, yes, but also our gifts, our talents, our time, our people, our influence, even intellectual property.
Ah, okay.
The parable of the talents in Matthew is a powerful illustration here.
Right. The master gives servants different amounts of money.
Talents, yeah. And the ones who invest and multiply them are rewarded. The one who buries his talent out of fear, he's condemned.
So the lesson is, health requires investing, multiplying resources, not hoarding or burying them.
Absolutely. It speaks to our responsibility to grow what we've been given. For you, your talents might be your skills, your network, your ideas.
Burying them might mean never taking that course or not mentoring someone.
Or keeping a great idea to yourself out of fear. Multiplying means investing in skills, sharing knowledge, launching the idea.
And for an organization.
Strategically deploying capital, empowering employees, fostering innovation instead of becoming risk-averse.
So these three pillars, core purpose, visionary leadership with shared ownership, and faithful stewardship or resource multiplication, they all work together.
They're completely interdependent. Neglect one, and the others suffer. Just like parts of a living body, they form a holistic foundation for lasting vitality.
Okay, so we get what true health is and the core pillars that build it. But how do you actually sustain it over time? It's not like you build it once and you're done.
Not at all. It's a dynamic process.
Right.
Our deep dive shows it's like a self-renewing engine built on several key dynamics.
A self-renewing engine. I like that. What are these dynamics?
One crucial one is the cycle of being filled and poured out. The sources call this a sacred rhythm.
Filled and poured out.
For a church, it means continually receiving from God prayer, worship, learning, so that life can flow through them into the world.
And for any individual or organization.
It means maintaining a constant cycle of input and output, continually refreshing your knowledge, your energy, your team skills, your culture. That's the filled part.
Okay.
So that you have something valuable to give to your customers, your community, your mission. That's the poured out part.
Like a well-maintained engine taking in fuel to produce power.
Exactly. Isaiah 58 connects that spiritual fullness to outward impact and generosity. If you only take in or only expend, you eventually fail.
That input and output rhythm makes perfect sense, and it seems like that leads directly to the next dynamic.
It does. Intentional discipleship is the engine of continuity.
Discipleship. So training people.
More than just training. It's not just about recruiting attendees or customers. It's equipping and developing people who are formed to disciple others, building capacity in others.
Ah, okay. Like passing on the knowledge and the passion.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The sources highlight Paul's four-generation vision in 2 Timothy 2.2, what you heard from me. Entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also.
Paul to Timothy, to faithful people, to others, that's multiplication.
Yes. Not just addition. It's about building a legacy through people, not just programs or products.
Like a senior engineer mentoring a junior who then mentors another.
Exactly. Ensuring critical knowledge and skills aren't lost, but actually grow across generations.
And for that continuity, I guess you need leaders who stick around, or new leaders.
That's the next critical piece. Leadership renewal.
Renewal, okay.
The sources warn against burnout and vision stagnation. They give examples like Elijah mentoring Elisha, Paul equipping younger leaders.
So it's not just about the current leader taking a break.
No, it's more fundamental. It's about structured mentorship, robust succession planning. No single leader is indispensable forever.
Right.
Organizations thrive when they have a clear pipeline of talent, ensuring new perspectives and renewed energy are always coming forward to sustain the vision.
That makes a lot of sense. So beyond these dynamics, the sources also lay out a framework for health, like different dimensions.
Yes, a multidimensional health framework. It's really comprehensive.
Okay, what are the dimensions?
First, spiritual health,
Yeah.
which we can translate broadly as core purpose alignment.
Staying connected to the why.
Exactly. Prioritizing intimacy with your original vision and values, ensuring daily actions align with foundational principles.
Got it. What's next?
Then, relational health, or maybe community cohesion.
Ah, the people side.
Yes. Cultivating that one heart and one soul idea from Acts, fostering unity, mutual accountability, strong interpersonal bonds. It's the glue.
Absolutely essential. And the third?
Finally, missional health, which translates to external impact orientation.
Focusing outwards.
Right. Focusing on community transformation, delivering tangible value, fulfilling your mission to positively impact the world, whatever that looks like for you.
So it's a holistic view. Core purpose, internal relationships, external impact.
It touches every aspect of a community's life.
You know, this raises an important question for you listening right now. In your own experiences with teams, groups, personal projects, what stands out as the most challenging part to maintain?
Is it the core purpose alignment? Keeping that why clear?
Or the community cohesion? Managing the internal dynamics?
Or is it the external impact orientation? Staying focused on the outward mission?
Each one contributes uniquely, and neglecting one definitely creates an imbalance, doesn't it?
It's a constant juggle, often.
It truly is. Okay, so this isn't just theory, right? Our sources get practical.
They do. Very practical strategies.
So what are some actionable steps you can actually take to cultivate this kind of enduring health in your own context?
Well, the sources offer some powerful lessons, often drawn from Scripture but universally applicable. One is consistency over intensity.
Consistency over intensity.
Momentum is built through steady, faithful practice. Think of the Israelites' long journey through the wilderness.
Not sporadic bursts of activity.
Exactly. It's the daily, persistent effort that builds lasting results, like building a new habit or chipping away at a long-term project. Small, steady actions are often more impactful than a few intense, unsustainable sprints.
I think we often fall into that trap, looking for the quick win, the big splash.
We do.
But consistency builds true resilience. Okay, what else?
They also emphasize adaptation with purpose.
Adaptation. So being flexible.
Flexible in your methods, yes, but unwavering in your core mission. Nehemiah rebuilding Jerusalem's walls is a great example.
Right, he faced changing circumstances, opposition.
Constant challenges. But he never lost sight of the goal. It's about being anchored by your purpose, but not rigid in your approach.
So for a business, maybe pivoting product strategy to meet market demands.
While holding firm to your core value of, say, customer satisfaction.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Any other strategies?
Yes, and this one is crucial. Celebration and reflection.
Taking time to pause. Periodically pausing to rejoice in what God has done, as the sources put it. Or in any context, acknowledging milestones, reflecting on successes, expressing gratitude.
Like the Philippian jailer celebrating in Acts.
It invigorates the collective spirit. It prevents burnout and reminds everyone why they're putting in the effort.
It's essential for morale and reaffirming that shared purpose. Okay, those are great proactive strategies. What about things to watch out for? Pitfalls.
Yes, the sources highlight crucial guardrails, things to avoid if you want long-term health.
Guardrails.
Okay.
Like what?
One is guarding against spiritual indifference, specifically the silent drift of a mature church.
Silent drift.
Jesus' critique of the Ephesian church in Revelation, they were doing a lot right, but they'd abandoned the love you had at first.
Oof, that's a stark warning. Outward success masking inward decay.
Precisely. You can be doing all the right things on paper, but lose the heart, the why. This applies to any organization that gets complacent, loses its edge, its initial passion.
A very real danger for established groups. What's another guardrail?
Strategic resource management.
We talked about stewardship, but this sounds more specific.
It is. It's not just basic accounting. It's about actively aligning your available resources, your provision, with your core mission or objectives.
Aligning resources with mission.
The example of Joseph storing grain in Egypt is fantastic here. Incredible foresight. Balancing immediate needs with long-term vision. Preparing for famine during abundance.
So for today, that means not just managing finances, but strategically cultivating talent, protecting IP, investing in R&D, building goodwill.
All of that. It's foresight. Preventing resources from becoming chains that dictate your decisions.
And instead ensuring they become fuel for mission that enables greater impact.
You got it.
That's a great point about strategic management, not just tracking. And to avoid those resource chains, I guess it comes back to people.
It does. The sources encourage cultivating shared ownership, moving people from passive consumption to active ownership of the mission.
From passive to active.
Think about the early apostles in Acts 6, empowering others, delegating important tasks so they could focus on strategy and prayer.
Right, they didn't try to do everything themselves.
And the sources use this great stage versus table illustration.
Stage versus table.
Instead of one person on a stage delivering to a passive audience, it's about everyone having a seat at the table, contributing their unique insights and talents to the shared mission.
I love that. It's a foundational shift in mindset. Builds real engagement and commitment.
Absolutely. And finally, a crucial guardrail in practice is fostering spiritual resilience.
Resilience, okay.
This is the spirit-empowered capacity, as the sources say, to remain steadfast in faith and fruitful in mission, even when external conditions are hostile.
Steadfast even when things are tough.
Think of Habakkuk 3.17:18, rejoicing even when circumstances are bleak. Resilience is like bamboo versus concrete.
Flexible and rooted. Not rigid and fragile.
Okay.
Able to bend without breaking.
Exactly. And there's a powerful real-world example of this from a church called Grace Fellowship.
Oh, yeah. Tell us.
They were thriving by all outward metrics. But the leadership sensed a subtle complacency creeping in.
That silent drift we talked about.
Right. So they felt led to do something radical. Send out 20% of their congregation key leaders, significant financial resources, to plant new churches in underserved areas.
Wow. 20%, that's huge.
Massive risk, losing money, people, facing uncertainty. But it was an act of faith, a deliberate pouring out to revitalize their core mission.
How did it turn out?
It was challenging, no doubt. But the act of releasing control, investing in the broader mission, ultimately renewed their own vitality and purpose in profound ways.
That's incredible. It really shows how all these principles, vision, stewardship, shared ownership, resilience, come together for real impact.
It really does.
Wow. We've covered so much ground today, from understanding true health beyond the numbers to the core pillars that build it and these dynamic, practical steps for sustaining it.
It's clear, isn't it? Enduring vitality and momentum aren't accidental.
No, definitely not. They're the outcome of deliberate, ongoing cultivation.
Cultivation of core purpose alignment, intentional leadership, and shared ownership, wise stewardship of all resources.
And that relentless focus on outward mission.
Our sources kept coming back to this one analogy that really sums it up nicely.
Which one was that?
A healthy church is a river, not a reservoir.
A river, not a reservoir.
The reservoir stores water, right. But eventually, if it's not refreshed, it can grow stale.
Okay.
But a river, It flows continually.
Hmm.
It nourishes communities, sustains life downstream, constantly renewing itself. Its vitality is found not in what it stores, but in what it releases.
Being a conduit, not just a container.
Exactly. For any organization, any individual.
So for you, listening to this deep dive, what's one insight you could take away? Something that could help transform your own efforts, maybe, from a stagnant reservoir to a flowing river.
Yeah, what would it look like for you to embody that perpetual mission in your own context?
Consistently bringing in new input, actively pouring out your unique value, keeping that flame burning brightly, dynamically, not just flickering.
That's really the ultimate challenge, isn't it? To make sure the decisions you make today create a legacy.
A legacy of faithfulness, of impact that multiplies and endures.
And genuinely affects generations to come, whether that's in your family, your business, your community.
Well, until next time, keep digging, keep
And
learning.
keep flowing.